on this occasion. Scotland it'll be who's kicking off. Gilzean and number 8, Bobby Murdoch. And Steen, the number 9, with the ball. £100,000 players, 2 Glasgow Rangers. And a happy experience of scoring a hat-trick in his first game for his new club, Glasgow Rangers. Well, that's the sort of thing that he'll be looking for this afternoon as referee Jim Finney gets it away. The home international championship of 1969. Scotland in white shorts then, defending the goal to our left. Ron Davis to his namesake win. Charlie Cook, pulled down by Moore. Moore with the number 7 on his shirt, instantly showing that his part in the game is going to be very much in midfield. Across and a dangerous looking one, but no one quite able to get there. Gary Sprake of Leeds United with the goal kick for Wales. Very good heading ability there, Stone straight away by Wyn Davis. And another free kick to Scotland for a foul against Billy Bremner. Tommy Gilmore leaving it for Billy McNeill. Up goes Gilzean, as he will so often. Steen getting a shot in well. Colin Steen, and a quick illustration of the sharpness of this young man. Only 21, Macready of Chelsea, to his teammate at Stamford Bridge, Charlie Cook. Number 11, Cook, leaving it for Macready. Ollie Burton, number 5. Macready to Cook, and Macready going on ahead of him and getting the ball as well. And that can mean only one thing. Macready absolutely flattened. So Macready with the free kick for Scotland. Steen going in, and Burton right up there as well. Cook trying to lift it back again. And off Powell for a corner. So a corner to Scotland, Cook to take it. And Steen at the near post for Scotland. Close attention of Burton and Derrett. Here comes the corner, and McNeill right up. McLean. Interesting to note that McNeill right up there, and of course he scored after only 90 seconds for Rangers against Celtic in the Scottish FA Cup final last Saturday from a corner. So that big number 5, Billy McNeill, is a man that Scotland have got to watch as little Tommy McLean takes this second corner for Scotland. Gilzean going in, and another corner off Durban. So Wales under the sort of pressure that a lot of people expected them to face. Cook now with this corner. And Graham Moore right back there. Bremner going in. And the ball being got away by Durban for Wales. Bremner again. Back with Sprake. Jimmy Hill.
I'm just thinking that the Scottish players seem to relish the absence of Mike England and are throwing the ball up high against the Welsh defence.
Well, that's going to be a test for Burton then, if Scotland do come in the air at Wales. Here's Durban on the ball for them now. To John Toshak of Cardiff City. Durban continuing ahead of him. Steen and Green. And Burton there. One in the air for Ron Davis to chase. Billy McNeill commanding though. McCready to Cook. Inside to Bobby Murdoch. Cook. Superb ball player and good running there by Murdoch. Now Gilzean, and he's offside. The linesman on the far side had his flag up as soon as that ball was played to Gilzean. 5 minutes gone, no score. Gary Sprague. Ron Davis, Gemmell behind him. Moore to Burton for Wales. John Toshak. Burton to Durbin, the man who's helped Derby County up into the First Division, number 4. To Powell. Durbin again, Barry Jones ahead of him. Durbin going on! Very good run by Durbin. The Scottish defence there melting in front of him, and quite rightly he carried the ball through and almost got a clear shot at Tommy Lawrence in the goal. Alan Durbin. So a corner then to Wales. Barry Jones on the far side to take it. And no one to harass Tommy Lawrence on that Scottish goal line. No Welsh forwards, in spite of their heading ability, have gone for it. And Billy McNeill. Steve Derrett. And that could only be a goal kick. Tommy Lawrence played for Scotland in the World Cup game against West Germany. 1 cap before that. Now Steen versus Burton with help from Derrett for Wales. Beautiful sunshine and a fair section of the crowd in shirt sleeves. Now Durbin, who's played a good captain's part so far for Wales. Some good tight work at the back, and here he is again. And a bit of adventure up front, and this time Wyn Davis well offside. Newcastle United man, Wyn Davis, formerly played here at Wrexham, so he knows the ground well enough. And McCready with the kick for Scotland. Good positive play there by Powell, getting in before Gilzean, but not getting it right away. And here's Gilzean again, trying to find Steen. And now you had a case of these two Davises getting in each other's way. So often they go for the same sort of ball, similar types of player. And this really is a problem for Wales. Barry Jones, who's turned from a skillful, tricky winger into a very skillful midfield player for Cardiff, but that really wasn't a very good pass. Charlie Cook. Bobby Murdoch finding Bremner. Always looking forward to drive his men on. Cook flicking that back very well to Little McLean. And a dangerous one towards the near post. They can be such dangerous balls, and that was one that Scotland were playing for, those balls to the near post that give defenders no chance to weigh up the situation, and Gilzean was in very quickly. Sprague this time even quicker. Billy McNeill at the back for Scotland. To Murdoch. One to set Gilzean off in chase. And Sprague content to let that one go for a goal kick. Bremner to Cook, trying his luck on this side of the field. Gemmell with him. More as a decoy, though, going across to make Waves feel that he was going to play it up the right. But here's Barry Jones. Alan Durbin. Trying to find Ron Davis. Davis withstanding that challenge by McNeil very well to win Davis. Durbin. And that can only be Lawrence's. Eddie McCready. Trying to switch it to Bremner, but going straight to Graham Moore. Ron Davis. Graham Moore. And Gemmell back to Tommy Lawrence. Steen to McLean. 5'4" and full of trickery. Steen. Now Bremner. Colin Steen, number 9, to Bremner. Balked there by Graham Moore. Free kick to Scotland. And now perhaps we should see one of these high floating centres that Jimmy Hill was talking about that will expose the lack of a Mike England in the middle, but McLean too fiddly. But in fact he gets away with it because it's another free kick to Scotland. Mr. Finney not liking the way it was taken, but McLean fiddling again and getting a corner off Toshak. McLean to take it. Steen in that 6-yard area. McNeil also up for Scotland, and Gilzean at the far side. Two supreme headers of the ball, but a little too close to the goal mouth for anyone to have very much impact there, and Wyn Davis right back. So another corner to Scotland. McNeil still up. This is going towards Gilzean. McNeil now. There it is. A bad mistake by Sprake, though, coming out for that ball, failing to get it. And McNeil given time enough. Here it is.
Ball coming over here, and they missed it, and it's in the back of the net. It was a bad mistake by Sprake, coming up too early and trying to catch that cross, but Gilzean made it because he won the ball in the air or kept the defender out of the way and made a clear goal for McNeil.
So McNeil then, who got Celtic on the way to victory against Rangers in the Scottish Cup with the first goal last Saturday, gets Scotland away with the first goal this Saturday after something like 12 minutes. Billy McNeil, Scotland 1 ahead. Now Durbin, and plenty of work for Wales now. Murdoch. Charlie Cook. Cook still, and too deep.
Well, some sort of prediction come right there, because I did see the Welsh defence in trouble with high balls before that goal came about, and corners are going to be a real nightmare for them throughout the afternoon.
Yes, every dead ball situation even that has the ball floating into that Welsh goal mouth is going to present all sorts of problems for them, because they really haven't solved any of them yet. Every time that ball has gone high into the goal mouth, Scotland have had more than an even chance of making something of it. Here's Burton. A lot's going to rest on that number 5 Burton, but there's a bad one again by Gilzean now. To Steen. And another corner to Scotland. Here comes that corner, and this time Sprake gathers it. So unlike Gary Sprake to have completely misjudged that ball that cost Wales a goal. But he really must bear the brunt of the blame. Now this is Toshak to Graham Moore. Colin Green going up the left, Moore as a decoy though. Davis trying to lay it off. McCready to Murdoch, to Cook. The Scots moving very sweetly and giving plenty of room as well. Gilzean up with him. And Powell getting it away for Wales. 15 minutes gone, Scotland leading by a goal to nil. Barry Jones for Wales. Toshak. Graham Moore. Barry Jones calling for the ball and getting it. And Bremner covering beautifully. Graham Moore. And now McCready. Cook. John Gregg, we haven't seen much of him so far. Bobby Murdoch. And Steen, look at the space for Steen! Oh, there it is, number 2! Terrible defensive play by Wales again, 2-0 to Scotland.
Well, here it comes now in slow motion. The ball was won on the left here. Little Tommy McLean plays a big part in it, picks up the ball, crosses it, and the Welsh marking is all over the place as the ball comes across the field and leaves Steen with space which he can't really believe. In fact, he appears to miss the chance there when he might have hit it, instead of whamming it in, and he gets a second chance, and I think was rather lucky to make it pay and dribble into the corner of the net.
They're away again here live at Wrexham with Scotland. A brilliant start for them. 16 minutes gone and 2 up. And 2 bad defensive errors by Wales. Cook. And all the people, of course, who've made the long journey down from Scotland must be very well pleased with what's gone on in the first 15 or 16 minutes in the sunshine in Wales. Free kick to Scotland. John Gregg with it. Switching it to McLean. Gemmell prepared to adventure now because the pressure is off Scotland. McLean still, Gemmell outside him. McLean! Oh, very close! Almost an own goal there by Derrett. But away it goes by Ollie Burton off that line. Just as well this man, number 5, Ollie Burton was there. Derrett very nearly putting it into his own goal. As if Wales haven't got problems enough. Now Durban, he really needs to play a captain's part. Graham Moore. Toshak. Davies playing it off there for Toshak. Now Bremner to Colin Steen, scorer of that second goal. Billy Bremner, look at the space he's found there. And look at the space now for Cook. Wales in defence certainly aren't getting to grips with this game now. Cook laying it off for McCready. Everybody in space. Murdoch as well. And this time Scotland doing nothing very much with it. Derrett clearing it for Wales. Colin Steen looking for Gilzean, who's being kept forward all the time by Scotland. Ron Davis on there, but he's put under so much pressure by McCready he couldn't direct his header. And now Graham Moore for Wales. To Durban. Wyn Davis going well cut out though by McNeil. to Gray, to Murdoch. And now McCready switching it to McLean. Gemmell, so much confidence now in this Scottish side, as you would expect, 2 goals up so very quickly. Bobby Murdoch to McLean. Trying to tease Colin Green, and he is teasing him a bit. Little shimmy here. Murdoch, now he's got a shot, and a little too high, and now Cook flicking it back again. Gilzean! Headed away by Durban. Cook again. And attention for Gilzean, it seems. No, he doesn't need it. So it's a throw for Scotland. Charlie Cook with it. Still Cook. Gilzean will go for this one, and Burton. Toshak right back there, putting his side in further trouble. Murdoch! And Jimmy Hill, this Welsh defence really aren't getting to grips with it at all, are they?
I was just thinking that if it was the Wrexham defence, they would hardly allow Scotland as much room as they're getting today. I think the Welsh are not really playing with the fire that is necessary to make up for the pre-match problems that they've had.
Now Toshak, can he do anything for them? Graham Moore. No, Toshak again, number 9. Gemmell to Lawrence. Alan Durban. Davis. Durban. And now Cook. Gilzean outside him. Steen ahead of him. And here's a square one to Bremner. McLean completely free on the right. Good running by Greig here. They're really buzzing about now, Scotland, so full of confidence, taking up all sorts of improbable positions, making extra problems. And this one straight to Spring. From McLean, little Tommy McLean. So composed at the back, Scotland too. Charlie Cook. McCready going up. Steen calling for it in the middle. Gilzean also in the middle, but that was a bad one. Toshak, but under so much pressure from McNeil. And now Bobby Murdoch. Murdoch and Bremner really are an irresistible midfield pair for Scotland. Take an awful lot of beating anywhere in Britain. Steen, challenged by Powell. Gilzean with the throw. Colin Steen to Gilzean. McLean going in, but well beaten by Colin Green. McLean only 5'4", and here he is again. Laying it off, very nice for Gemmell. And this time Colin Green there covering from this man, Tommy Gemmell. And we know from that fine European Cup final that Celtic won in Lisbon against Inter Milan what a tremendous shot that Gemmell has. Scored the first Celtic goal that day. A short one. This is McLean. Gilzean advancing and Bremner free. Gilzean off his knee. Davis to Moore, to Durban. Barry Jones free. Moore. Toshak outside him. Here's Toshak. He was challenged so hard there by Greig. Couldn't quite pull it back enough. And Scotland looking very tight and determined at the back. Their tackling is very crisp and sharp. Colin Green of Birmingham. And Green in again very quickly. Gilzean for Scotland. To his skipper, Billy Bremner. Bremner going on and finding Cook brilliantly on the far side. Beautiful constructive football by Bremner there. Macready. And Derrett rather desperately putting it away to safety. And Colin Green in a bit of trouble. In fact, what I think it probably was, it was hit on the head by the clearance that came unexpectedly sharp to him from Gemmell. Jack Jones, the Welsh trainer, on the right of the picture. Jim Finney, this vastly experienced referee, and number 3, Colin Green, almost a perpetual late choice for Wales over the years. Not too often chosen in the first place, but so often coming in as a late replacement. Powell misjudging that one. Tommy Gemmell looking for Gilzean. Oh, beautiful play by Gilzean, getting up and flicking that ball away as he does so well, and very good play too by this young number 6, Powell, who used to play for Wrexham and now Sheffield United. Ball going in and winning, perhaps a little luckily, a free kick for Wales against Eddie Macready. Graham Moore. Last cap for Wales was 3 seasons ago. He must be rather surprised to find himself here today. And Ollie Burton to take the kick for Wales. He's going to look for one of these tall, commanding headers of a ball. But in fact, Steen was standing less than 10 yards off that ball. And so Burton will have another chance of aiming it. So Burton again. And Lawrence ducking under it. So that Wyn Davies here had no chance to challenge, just a little too deep from Burton. Graham Moore to Steve Derrett of Cardiff City. Ron Davies going for this one, and Greg. Steen flicking that one on, but Wales covering well this time. Young David Powell to Barry Jones. Ball slipping badly there and having a little bit of luck getting that one away to Powell. Now Durbin. Derrett outside him. Looking for Ron Davies and Toshak. Ron Davies! Ron Davies!
Here comes the crossover now, and you watch the lovely way in which Ron Davies rises in the air beautifully. Not only gets it up there above everybody else, but it guides it right over the top of Tommy Lawrence into the roof of the net. A superb header.
Really was a superb header by Ron Davies. Beautifully timed just in under that crossbar. Lawrence a yard or so off his line, but it puts Wales firmly back into the game again now. And if only they can tighten up a bit at the back, Wales, they're well back into this game. Wyn Davies to Toshak. Free kick to Wales. Well, it's the sort of situation that usually brings out the fire in Wales and in Billy Bremner. Colin Green. Wyn Davies at the far side. There's Wyn Davies going in. Trying to flick it back for Ron Davies. Bobby Murdoch. Cook to Murdoch. Trying to dummy more, but now this is Ron Davies to Durban. The cheers beginning to ring around Wales. Perhaps it may all not be lost yet. Wyn Davies up well to Barry Jones. And Gemmell in for Scotland. Cook to Bremner. McLean with plenty of space on the right. Good decoy run there by Cook, taking the attention off Steen on the right. Here's Steen. And Burton staying with him well. And then finding Derrett. The three big men are up for Wales. The two Davises and Toshack. And a throw to Wales. This is John Toshack. Handing the ball to Derrett. It looks as though Burton has taken a knock. Jimmy Hill.
One of the things that the goal seems to have done is to have set the Welsh team alight and given them the fire that they started without. And there's no question about it. I think that that shows it was lack of confidence more than anything else. They had been knocked by what had happened before the match, the weakness of the team, and they felt themselves that they couldn't win. But I think now, having got that goal, they've got a sniff, and they feel that they might yet be able to pull the game out of the fire. And that means that it should be a better game than it's been up to now from now on.
That really was the first hint, though, that Scotland gave in defence of giving Wales anything at all, wasn't it?
Exactly. The first time almost they've approached the goal with any confidence. Alan Durban has been doing very well with Barry Jones in the middle of the field, but the front three, Toshack, has been very nervous in Wales in front of his own people. It seems to me that he's not producing his normal game at all, but perhaps that'll give him that extra bit of confidence that he needs.
Well, in the meantime, Burton all right again, and a throw to Wales. Derrett with it, Davies piling it on, and Gregg cutting it out. Graham Moore. Suddenly Wales are looking for the ball for all they're worth, but this is Murdoch now for Scotland. Barry Jones to Colin Green. Notice how Davies was followed right into touch, in fact, by Gemmell. This is Gemmell, and you can be sure that, having got that warning with that goal from Ron Davies, that Scotland will give him absolutely no space whatsoever now. Billy Bremner with the throw. Charlie Cook. What lovely control. Three Welshmen around him, and a good control by Bremner. Beautiful play this by Scotland. And a wild kick there by Barry Jones. On Cook, this is Gregg, to McCready, who's played in all of Scotland's internationals this season, Eddie McCready. Murdoch. Durban with the throw for Wales. To Powell, to Barry Jones. He really does seem to be enjoying his midfield role for Cardiff and indeed for Wales now, Barry Jones. Ron Davies, Murdoch. You'll notice a little bit more back now to try to bolster up things a little bit at the back for Scotland. Here's Durban, skipper of Wales. And McCready with the throw for Scotland. McCready to Murdoch to Cook to McCready. Now Wyn Davies battling with Gemmell. Free kick to Wales. 10 minutes to go to half time. Scotland leading them by these 2-1. McNeil and Steen for Scotland, Ron Davis for Wales, Colin Green to take the free kick for Wales. One that went low, but even so it fooled the Scots. I suppose they've become expecting these balls to come high now into that penalty area. And Gemmell back very coolly to Lawrence. Bremner. What a tough little player this Bremner is. Ron Davis. Barry Jones. Barry Jones again. Wyn Davies right up with him. Durban! McCready getting in the way of that shot by Durban. Again, an illustration of what good work Durban is doing by springing through from the midfield. So Charlie Cook taking it up for Scotland. Masterful dribbler of the ball, Gilzean. He's got McLean up in support, but he's far too slow in getting it to McLean. Closely watched by Green, mind you, who gives away this free kick to Scotland. Bremner, the man who's fired Leeds to the First Division Championship. Into the chip, and Graham Moore getting it away. Derritt, only Wyn Davies up, and beating McNeil in the air. Gilzean. Bremner again. Look at this space that Bremner's found in midfield. McLean. He's got Gemmell coming up in support. Still McLean. And Burton. Gemmell again. And almost there this time by Powell, almost putting it into his own net. And finally, desperately cleared into touch on the far side. Barry Jones intercepting there, finding Ron Davis. Barry Jones again. To Durban. Wyn Davies trying to turn it back for Durban, who was continuing his run, but Bremner there, and now Steen for Scotland. To McLean. To Bremner. Now Steen. Bremner continuing his run, just clipping Burton's boot, but here's Bremner. And Durban winning that battle of the skippers, but not getting it away very well. This is Steen. To Spring. Barry Jones. To Toshak. Barry Jones again. Toshak trying to make his break. Barry Jones yet again. And now Toshak! Just over. Persistent play there by Barry Jones, giving Toshak a fleeting chance. And one of the Scots down injured. Tommy Lawrence, in fact, getting a little bit of attention from the Scottish trainer, Tommy McNiven, as well as Billy McNeill. Tommy Lawrence, of course, goalkeeper of Liverpool, who finished second in the First Division. At the other end of the pitch, we have Gary Sprake of Leeds United, who finished top. So, in terms of the First Division table, the top two goalkeepers in the First Division here at Wrexham this afternoon. Tommy Gemmell of Celtic, little Tommy McLean, the number 7 for Scotland, taking that ball to the byline so often, that Welsh byline, to pull them back, the sort of balls that all defenders find very difficult to deal with on the turn. Watch the way number 7, perhaps sometime later in this half, or indeed in the second half, takes that ball to the byline, pulls it back. Well, they both seem to be all right again, and this is Lawrence with the goal kick. Gilzean rising beautifully to flick it on. Green and Moore getting Wales into a bit of trouble here. Gilzean beating Green easily. Stein in the middle. And McLean. Here's the ball for McLean. Gilzean again. And offside. Given against Alan Gilzean. What a tremendous season he's had for Tottenham. Gilzean prepared so much more this last season to take some stick, and he really has taken some up front, both for Spurs and for Scotland. And of course a superb header of the ball. This is Greg at the other end. And he certainly couldn't have seen that Wyn Davies was cutting off that back pass to Lawrence. It gives a corner to Wales with something like 3 minutes to go now to half-time. Barry Jones to take it. Toshak making a break towards it. So it's Ron Davies. Good save by Lawrence. From Ron Davies, number 8. And a free kick to Scotland. Number 2, Tommy Gemmell. Gilzean again going for this one and getting it, but Sprake with all the time in the world. Wyn Davies nodding it on, Ron Davies going on, Greg away. Greedy. And Gilzean pushed in the back there by Powell, and Mr. Finney saw it. That's the boy Powell. Free kick to Scotland. And McCready to take it. Gilzean poised at the far side of that penalty area, floating one towards Gilzean, but again the Welsh defence in very goodly this time. This is Powell getting it in. Now Cook to McCready again. John Gregg to McLean. Gemmell going on the right. McLean flicking it in towards Gilzean. And now Murdoch. Bremner, the ball bobbling nastily there for Murdoch, just as he was poised to take that shot. Gemmell now for Scotland. And the feet were fairly high there by Cook on Barry Jones. But it was one of these balls that he had to go for, just on the edge of the penalty area. Free kick nonetheless, though, to Wales. Good play there by Wyn Davies, withstanding that challenge from Bremner. That takes a bit of doing. Moore challenged by Gregg and by Gilzean. Now Steen. And a corner to Scotland. Steen taking a knock there and tumbling. Here's Colin Steen. Tommy McLean, the number 7. With the corner for Scotland. McNeil right up in the box. But this one won't reach McNeil. It does Bremner, though. And Sprague and Bremner, 2 Leeds United players, companions all season, and then suddenly finding themselves face to face there as enemies. Durban. A long searching ball, but finding nobody other than Gemmell. And here we have the substitute for Scotland in goal, Jim Herriot. Herriot on in place of Tommy Lawrence, Birmingham City. And a free kick to Wales. I think when this one is cleared, I must ask Jimmy Hill what he feels about Herriot coming into goal in place of Lawrence, but in the moment it's Derrett with the free kick for Wales. One towards the far post to test Herriot. Barry Jones. Now what about this substitution, Jimmy?
Well, he'll have to do better than that if he wants to keep the ball out of the back of the net. He didn't catch that one very cleanly, but on the other hand, you know, it just is another problem for the Scottish defence. It's someone else they've got to fit into it very quickly. He's an experienced goalkeeper. It's not as if he's a young lad coming into the match, so I think he'll settle down pretty well.
Indeed, and he's already gained a Scottish cap this season. McCready with the throw. Now really, Steen was hacked from behind by Derrett. That wasn't a very clever tackle by the Welshman. It's a free kick to Scotland. McCready, number 3. Wyn Davies trying to get under this one. Gemmell challenging him. Gemmell judging it beautifully. So did Gilzean. Derrett to Jones. Skillfully beating McCready. And now finding Toshack, but a stride too far ahead of him to be able to control it. Charlie Cook. Gilzean slipping Powell, or almost doing so. A good recovery by young David Powell against the challenge of this man, Gilzean. Murdoch clipping that back well towards Steen, and Colin Green there for Wales. Steen to McLean, and now Moore for Wales. And Steen very nearly getting another chance, and a goal kick. Creedy in very positively indeed to Steen. And Durban allowing Cook. Still Cook, buzzing around there looking for Gilzean, and a free kick. A little bit of pushing and shoving there involving Charlie Cook. A free kick to Wales. Green with it. Here's Cook. Barry Jones. Colin Green. And Toshak. Gemmell the half missing his kick. McCready away to his Chelsea clubmate Cook. Now McCready. Graham Moore beating Bremner. And Durbin taking it away. Wyn Davis. Oh, tackled from behind, badly by Gregg. Those sort of tackles can never be fair tackles. And quite deservedly, a free kick to Wales. Colin Green to take it, number 3. Ron Davis at that far side, and Wyn Davis going in, and Ron. Charlie Cook. Cook again. Good close control, but he isn't doing an awful lot with it. And now it's Gemmell to Bremner. Cook to Bremner. Such a slow build-up, looking for someone to make a quick burst. Bremner. Plenty of Welshmen back, 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. The build-up so slow, and Moore and Bremner having an unfair barge there. The foul given against Moore. Here's Graham Moore of Charlton Athletic. Gregg ticking it off to Bremner. Gilzean rising. Can Steen get under it? And now Barry Jones. Good interception by Gregg. McCready. And a good challenge again by Moore. Moore's getting through a fair amount of good work there in midfield for Wales now. He may lack that little bit of pace, but he's not lacking any determination. And now Wyn Davis, but good covering this time by McNeil. Gemmell to Bremner. And Bremner's the man that Scotland will be looking for now to fire them with something that will produce a match-winning goal now. Gemmell. Here's Bremner. Cook. And another one. So a goal by Murdoch, by Gilzean. By Gilzean. And the second mistake of the match by...
Well, what a mix-up that was. They really should be ashamed of themselves for allowing that goal to go in the back of the net. It was a perfectly simple cross to deal with, and Gary Sprake must take entirely the blame for it. Here comes the ball over. Watch, there it is. He loses it, and it's a simple matter for Gilzean just to poke it over the line.
So Wales have got right back into their bad old habits again, having conceded those 2 goals through bad defensive errors early in the game. Having pulled back to 2-2, have now put themselves in terrible trouble again. Gilzean again, the scorer. Alan Durbin to Moore. Going on to Wyn Davis, Ron Davis in the middle, and Toshak. And plenty of Scots back as well. Ron Davis going in, and not cleared very far. Moore! What a tremendous shot by Moore. And I must say, Scotland, against a much weakened Welsh side, badly need that goal to put them ahead. They certainly could ill afford anything other than a victory at Wrexham this afternoon. Gregg taking it well on his chest. Incredible to think that 2 of these Scottish goals have come as direct mistakes by Gary Sprake. Here's Burton. Direct mistakes by Gary Sprake, regarded, of course, as one of the finest goalkeepers in the world. And a man who makes few enough mistakes for Leeds United in the course of a season, but two very bad ones in the course of one game here. Free kick to Wales. Bobby Murdoch, number 8. And Powell, David Powell, formerly with Wrexham, with the kick for Wales. And up goes Wyn Davies. Ron Davies trying to get in, covered by Gemmell. Corner to Wales. Barry Jones to take it. Wyn Davies, arm aloft, looking for a long floating centre. And Wyn Davies, a beautiful goal there by Ron Davies. Superb goal, here it comes.
Another beautiful header from him. There's Barry Jones as he whacks the ball over. Now just look at him rising in the air. This superb power meeting that ball, and it goes in like a bullet off the crossbar and into the back of the net.
3-3. That was a slightly more powerful corner than usual. It wasn't a floater, and it seemed to catch the Scottish defence out, and Ron Davies got just that fraction ahead of the whole Scottish defence to make it 3-3. But it always seems that Wales have some sort of target to aim for. They've made themselves two pretty difficult targets to hit in this game, and yet they've hit them both times, and now there's more danger. This time, Sprake equal to it from the challenge of Gilzean. Slight argument going on there. Billy Bremner in the middle of it, and Colin Green telling him to keep well away from it. Good, sensible piece of work there by the number 3, Colin Green, telling Billy Bremner to keep out of trouble, because it was a perfectly reasonable challenge there by Gilzean, who's flattened on Sprake. Dave Bowen there on the left, right by the goalpost, the Welsh team manager. And Jim Finney, the referee, with the ball. There's the man who scored 2 goals in this game, Ron Davies. The first one that brought fresh heart to Wales, and then this one just a moment or two ago. Well, he can afford to smile. 26 goals now this season, Ron Davies. Dave Bowen, the Welsh manager. Sprake seems to have taken a bit of a knock on the back of the head, so too does Gilzean. The stretch is not for them. So a quarter of an hour gone in the second half. Both Sprake and Gilzean all right again. And the score standing at 3-3. Graham Moore. Wyn Davies nodding it off for Toshack. Durbin going in. And Murdoch challenging hard for Scotland, the ball coming to Cook. What a tremendous match this is turning out to be to get the Home International Championship underway. Charlie Cook now losing control. Half an hour to go, 3-3. Wyn Davies getting under this one, so too is McNeil. McCready for Scotland, to John Gray. Powell in decisively for Wales. A good, cool defensive play by McNeil to Bremner. Steen unmarked, way on his left. And Moore and Bremner continuing the battle they've had most of the afternoon, and this time a foul called against Graham Moore on this man, Billy Bremner. Free kick to Scotland. Gemmell floating one towards Gilzean and Cook. Cook given so much time to get this ball back to Macready. Gemmell. And a throw to Scotland. Billy Bremner, their skipper, to take it. To little McLean. Another floater towards Gilzean. Alan Gilzean scored that third goal for Scotland. Not only is he so good in the air, but when he gets up there, he flicks off such delicate passes to men around him. And there's Wyn Davies doing precisely the same thing for Wales. And following it up, Wyn Davies. Ron Davis and Toshack and Barry Jones. Here's Toshack. Not so far away from Toshack. John Toshack, Cardiff City. A lot of First Division managers have had their eye on this boy, and some of them have felt that perhaps he hasn't quite got the fire or the determination, but he's got plenty of it this afternoon. Down goes Steen.
Just thinking, Brian, this may be a fourth division ground, but there's plenty of space on it, and I've never seen so much space for forwards to operate in my life. And the players must be thinking, we only wish it was like that in the league, playing every week.
Here's Macready with the kick. Burton getting it away. So much space on this ground, and so many possibilities now for this Welsh side, written off by so many people before this game, with 5 of their regulars out of the side. A makeshift side against the might of Scotland. Now in the 25 minutes that are left, can they bring off a really astonishing victory after being twice down? Wyn Davies up again, but this time McLean for Scotland. And Steen, it looked as though he was offside, and Mr. Finney said that he was, although the linesman Eric Jennings on the far side kept his flag down. Gemmell wildly into touch. Gives you an idea of sort of pressure that Scotland are under now. And really it would be a bad result to draw here for Scotland. Certainly all the supporters came here confident of a Scottish victory. Here's John Gregg, back to Heriot. Powell finding Derrett. Tommy Gemmell to McLean. And Green quite happy to give away a corner. David Powell, number 8, Bobby Murdoch, and McLean with the corner. McNeil is right up there in the box, but this one won't go to him. Gilzean on the volley, but such difficult balls to keep down when you've got to turn as far as he had to turn. And so it's Gary Sprake with the goal kick. And a foul called against Wyn Davies. I think Gemmell felt that on his shoulder all right. Gilzean going for this one again.
I don't want to take anything away from Wales' fine fight back, but I feel that Scotland have contributed to allowing them to catch up almost as much as Wales have. And on the form of these two teams, I reckon England must be certainties for the home international championship.
Because a lot of people felt that Scotland would be the main challenge, although I think Sir Alf Ramsey has got certain fears about Ireland. But certainly Scotland have shown none of the form, or very little of the form, that would make them fancied by anyone outside Scotland to win this home international championship. And certainly their form will have to be a good deal better than this if they make much impression against England at Wembley next Saturday. Here's Colin Green, completely miscuing. And so often the Scots, with so much talent available, so often in the past they've failed to get this talent together to a really workmanlike side. They promise so much and over recent years, in fact, have achieved so little. Although, of course, it would be stupid to write Scotland off in this situation, because the defence that we've seen in the Welsh defence so far this afternoon, they've been so prone to error, and this may be another one coming up, or Burton should have this one covered. Two Sprague. Green, beautifully taken up by Durban to Moore. Good positioning by Moore. Jones now. Toshak free on the left. Here's Toshak. Scorer of one beautiful goal for Wales, and this isn't a bad cross. Going towards Ron Davis. He really is causing tremendous problems in this Scottish defence. Ron Davis. Creeping in behind McNeil, and Greg really didn't get to grips with him at all. Toshak to Green, off Jim Finney to Greg. Murdoch to McLean, here's a bit of space. Graham Moore chugging back as hard as he can to cover the gap. Bremner going forward as well, and Green right back, but Green balking McLean. And so a free kick to Scotland now on the edge of this Welsh penalty area. Bremner is going to flip this one over that wall if he can, because waiting at the other side of the wall is McNeil and Steen and Gilzean, but he plays it now to Gemmell. Well, he had plenty of space in which to get his shot. The ball was played nicely to his feet, but he couldn't keep it down. Tommy Gemmell. So Sprague with a goal kick for Wales. 20 minutes to go. Cook to McCready. And Greg completely losing out to Wyn Davis. The cheers are ringing around Wyn Davis. And Scottish eyes are on Ron Davis at the far side, and Toshak both going for it. Burton to Derrett. Billy Bremner. And now McLean. McLean. And Derrett miscuing. And Green doing his best to tidy up, but giving away a corner. We've just heard that Tommy Lawrence, the Scotland goalkeeper in the first half, has gone to hospital with suspected concussion. He did take this knock just before half-time. So Lawrence on his way to hospital with suspected concussion. That's why Jim Herriot of Birmingham is in the Scotland goal. Here's the corner for Scotland. Murdoch. And Bremner! Oh, a lovely little handstand by Billy Bremner!
I think there was a little bit of luck about this. Murdoch missed his shot. He waited for it to drop, hit it on the half volley and missed it completely. But it rolled across perfectly across the goal. they're ready to be whacked into the net. And I think if he'd hit it as he wanted, it would have been safe first time.
So if we can get the man with the kilt off the pitch, a jubilant Scot indeed. I don't think Colin Steen wants too much of that attention. But certainly Scotland now have gone 4-3 ahead. The policeman coming to the edge of the touchline, but I don't think this particular Scotsman's going to worry about anything. He's far too happy embracing Charlie Cook. Well, they'll have to get him off. On the far side of the field, one Scottish player is down. So now Scotland leading by 4-3. Tommy McLean it is, the little number 7. Well, who's your money on now, Jimmy?
Well, there's a very relieved expert sitting here, and I can see the expression on Joe Mercer and Pratt Curran's faces. They're looking relieved too, that by the skin of our teeth our prediction is right, and that it may prevent us having to appoint a new set of experts for the next match.
But 7 goals in the first home international of this championship. What a tremendous send-off for it. Alan Gilzean getting a little bit of attention to his left shoulder. It's the Welsh trainer Jack Jones there, and the Scottish man with his kilt acting as a cheerleader now. Gilzean rubbing that shoulder, but certainly Wales have built another mountain for themselves to climb. Behind again, this time by 4-3, with just over a quarter of an hour to go. Durban to Wyn Davies, to Barry Jones. Ron Davies lurking dangerously again, but this time watched by Billy McNeill. And a corner. Well, we know how vulnerable these Scottish defence is to these high ones coming in. Joe Mercer sitting just behind me said, here comes the equaliser. Graham Moore's gone up to stand on that Scottish line. Here comes the corner. Ron Davies getting under it, and Heriot under pressure. Powell doing the safe thing under that challenge from Colin Steen, number 9. Man who's just back from 6 weeks suspension from the Scottish FA. Here's Eddie McCready of Chelsea to Murdoch. Scotland leading 4-3. Charlie Cook. And down goes Sprague, covering that beautifully with his body. That really was a shot for all budding young goalkeepers. Getting his body behind that one beautifully. McNeill. Cook down on the deck, injured. The play going on with Durban on the ball for Wales. Barry Jones, Durban again. Trying one inside the full-back there for Derrett. But this is McCready. Murdoch to Gray. To Bremner. Oh! A double kick there, which didn't come off. It's Toshack to Wyn Davies. Graham Moore. Durban trying a dummy, but dummying nobody but himself. And now Murdoch. McLean sprinting up the right. Here's McLean. Cook going in, but he's offside. No, he's not. Steen with plenty of space. Cook advancing towards the far post. Steen! But if only he could have controlled himself and sent a little chip to Charlie Cook at the far side of that goal, utterly and completely unmarked. That really was a raw edge on Colin Steen. Cook really had advanced to a beautiful position there. Alan Durban to Derrett. Burton. And McNeil winning it in the air, and Murdoch coming back to help. Cook, superb control on his thigh. Oh, Bremner taking that beautiful position. McLean. Scott's beginning to move a bit now. Steen, a little lucky to find that ball going as far as that to get to him. Murdoch. Murdoch still. Steen! That really would have been a beautifully worked goal by Scotland. Very good work indeed by Murdoch, but he's in a fair bit of pain as a result of it. A despairing Welsh tackle as he slid that ball across beautifully for this man, Colin Steen. About 12 minutes to go now. Colin Steen, and Scotland leading by 4 goals to 3. Pat Crerand, Scotland still for you now, after all the alarms?
Yeah, still for me. I think they'll score again before the end as well.
They were moving beautifully there. That was a beautiful move, probably one of their best moves of the game, wasn't it?
Oh, he must have done very well there indeed. How he got that ball back, I don't know. But I think the boy tried to hit it too hard. If he took his time another second, he might have scored. Steen.
Well, that is Steen there, number 9, bending over the man who made that superb chance for him, Bobby Murdoch. And just emerging from the trainer's bench beneath us, Bobby Brown, the Scottish team manager. There he is. And it looks as though Murdoch is being carried off. And Scotland haven't their substitute on yet, have they? 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, they've already got their substitute, Heriot, on. So the Scotland might well face themselves now with 10 minutes. Down to 10 men. Leading by this 4 goals to 3. And McCready losing that badly to Wyn Davies. Derrett. Perhaps trying a little too much. McCready a little too experienced for that. To Gray. And Ollie Burton back to Sprigg. Murdoch still getting attention on the touchline from Tommy McNiven. Scotland still down to 10 men, and Wales look as though they're bringing on a substitute now. Looks as though Ronnie Rees is coming on for Wales, but this is Colin Green. And Cook getting away. Now here's some space for Charlie Cook. And a beautiful pass here to McLean. 3 Welshmen back, and only Steen up with him, and a rather wild kick there, hitting the Dragon of Wales. And Ronnie Rees coming on for Wales. Jimmy Hill.
I can remember Ronnie Rees coming on for West Bromwich Albion at Fulham this year and scoring a goal with his second kick, which was the goal that put Fulham out of the cup. I wonder if he can do the same thing now.
Well, it's Steve Derrett who's coming off, and so clearly Rees coming on is meant to promote more firepower for Wales with something like 9 minutes to go. 4-3 down. And they really must be trying now to throw everything to put more pressure onto this Scottish defence. Toshak. Gemmell. And Burton away to Barry Jones. And now Powell. Good play by Powell. And it's not really so much a gamble by Dave Bowen as something really that he had to do. There's no point in losing 4-3. It's just as well to lose 5-3, because goal average doesn't count. It's points that count in this championship, and you've got to go out searching with as many men as you can who are capable of scoring goals, and certainly Ronnie Rees is one of those. Here's Rees now. Rees this time putting it into touch. And Murdoch is back on the field again for Scotland. Limping just a little bit with that bandage on the left leg. And so it's Herriot with the goal kick for Scotland. Wales, of course, who were looking for consolation in this championship, having virtually been eliminated from the World Cup, having lost to Italy at home and East Germany away this season. It just about rules out any chance they have of getting through to Mexico, so they really wanted to do something here. Toshack to Wyn Davies. A quick challenge by Bremner, and now McLean. Moore challenged by Gilzean. And Graham Moore winning. Another high one looking for the Davies. And this is Ron Davies challenging Greg. Billy Bremner to Charlie Cook. Cook shrugging off Durban, who was holding his shirt. So a free kick to Scotland. Cook to McLean. Beautiful control by McLean in a tight little situation. Cook miscuing very badly. McLean. Beautiful control again. And a free kick given against Durban for pushing McLean. This is Durban, the Welsh skipper, number 4. And Bremner for Scotland. Steen and Gilzean up in the middle there, and Murdoch. McLean again. Gilzean going for this one, and Sprake. Ronnie Rees. To Graham Moore. 5 minutes to go, plus injury time. And there should be a fair bit of that in the second half. Toshack, number 9 for Wales. A long one looking this time for Wyn Davies. Rees is up there. And a very good piece of covering, though, by Murdoch for Scotland, giving away a corner. A chance for Wales to build a bit of pressure. Here's Rees. Herriot ordering the defence. Bremner right back on that line to add a bit of support in that Scottish defence. Here comes the corner from Jones. Ron Davies going for it. And the ball into touch. And Greg was well aware of it, but that didn't stop him pushing the ball well upfield to waste a few precious seconds. And they really are precious seconds now for Wales. 4-3 down with something like 4.5 minutes to go. And a free kick given against Wyn Davies for pushing to Scotland. And they are time wasting very badly, the Scots there. Burton. A long, high, hopeful ball. And a throw to Wales. 4 minutes now to go. Durban turning this one back dangerously for Wales. Wyn Davies is up there. Still Wyn Davies up. Three times Wales have been behind, twice they've come back to level, and now they have just under 4 minutes left in which to come back to equalise once more. Burton back to his goalkeeper, Gary Sprake. Charlie Cook. Charlie Cook. And McLean! There it is! Number 5!
Well, this was a chance for Charlie Cook to show his magic. We've been waiting for it all the game, and here's one of his special dribbles through the middle of the field. Watch the way, and in the end he slots the ball through beautifully and leaves Tommy McLean clear of the whole defence, and all that he has to do is to drive it hard and low past the goalkeeper's feet.
So the 5th goal that Pat Clarence said would come for Scotland before the end has indeed come. You were right, Pat.
Yes, I don't think the Welsh defence is very good under any pressure, although Charlie Cook done very well there to give a great ball to Tommy McLean. Very well for a young boy.
So 5-3 to Scotland. That really must be all up for Wales, who've made things so difficult for themselves this afternoon. And even though Ronnie Rees on the ball at the moment has come on to add firepower, my goodness, it's going to need some firepower now in the 2 minutes or so that are left. And Steen, you'll notice, the number 9 for Scotland, right back now. Scotland want no mistakes. Gilzean, the only man up. They're determined, obviously, to hold everything that they've got. Burton pulling it away for Wales, who really, considering they've been so weakened with 5 regular players out of the side, really have performed astonishingly well, the Welshmen. And McCready turning that ball into touch quite unnecessarily. Here's McNeil to waste a few more seconds. A free kick to Wales. Ollie Burton to take it. Looking for one of the last times for the head of Toshack or one of the Davises. Wyn Davies going towards this one. And Steen again right back there to pack that Scottish defence. 1 minute on the watch to go, plus injury time, and Scotland leading by 5-3. Alan Durbin. Looking for Ron Davis, and Greg getting there first. The fight really must have gone out of Wales now, and you can well understand it, as McLean takes it up again for Scotland. That superb last goal that he scored, made for him by Cook. Durbin. Again, this faithful high ball, looking for the heading ability of Wyn Davies, that promised so much for Wales during the course of this afternoon, but quite honestly in the end has proved not to be enough. A very predictable tactic, of course. Steen to Murdoch, to McCready. Steen, Gilzean and Bremner both in that penalty area, and this will go towards Cook at the far side.